Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's lesson, I'll show you how to improvise on piano using a nice R&B chord progression. I'll show you how to use different chords, inversions, passing notes, and jazz chords to add variation to your playing. For reference, here's middle C. We'll be playing in the key of A minor. First, I'll go over the chord progression, and then I'll show you how to add some variations to spice up your playing. We'll start off with our first chord, which is A minor 7. We have A on our left hand, and G, C, and E on our right hand. We'll play our solid A minor 7 chord. Next, we have D minor 7. With D on our left hand, and F, A, and C on our right hand. Our third and final chord is E minor 7, with E on our left hand, and G, B, and D on our right hand. E minor 7. Those are all the chords we'll use. Let's go over the basic chord progression. Our first chord is A minor 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, A minor 7 again, D minor 7, E minor 7, D minor 7, and then E minor 7. First variation. Instead of playing D minor 7, we can add an extra note and play D minor 9. In fact, in our chord progression, you can use D minor 7 and D minor 9 interchangeably. Now we can add passing notes, where we will play C and C sharp while transitioning from A minor 7 to D minor 7. Let's try that again. We can also add passing notes by playing G and G sharp while transitioning from E minor 7 to A minor 7. Let's try adding these two variations. You can also try adding variation in your rhythm when playing the chords. You can also experiment by adding melodies in between chords and vary your volume to make your improvisation more interesting. You can also try different inversions to vary the voicing. Experiment and have fun with it. Go over some jazz chords we can add into our chord progression. We'll play this jazz chord in place of the last E minor 7 chord in our progression. On the left, we have E octaves, and on the right, we have D, G, G sharp, and C. Let's try to add this in our chord progression. Next is our second jazz chord, which can be played in place of the last E minor 7 as well. On the left, we have E octaves, and on the right, we have A, D, D sharp, and G. Notice how we're using the same finger positioning as our first jazz chord. Now let's add this jazz chord in our chord progression. Now that we learned the different variations, let's try to improvise using what we've learned. Subscribe for more piano tutorials.